Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Hi, Carter Sherline from Michigan Runner, and it is the 31st of December 2017, and I'm in the casino on Belle State Park in Detroit, where we're getting ready for the 48th annual Belle New Year's Eve Family Fun Run and Walk. Okay, we've got a group of the history of this race of the Belle New Year's Eve run of the Motor City Striders, and I guess the future of the downtown runners who kind of looks like will be taking over this race in a few years.
Drafted, yeah.
Yeah, drafted. So we got. You guys get to introduce all yourselves.
Ken Davenport, Downtown Runners and Walkers.
Jean Bocci, Downtown Runners and Walkers, Belle Isle Runners and Walkers, and just me.
And the founder of this race.
Yes. No, I started the race as a fun thing.
Well, okay.
Ed Kozloff, Motor City Striders.
Jerry Bossy, Downtown Runners and Walkers, Belle Isle Runner.
The next one, Michigan.
And what was it called before?
Michigan Road Runners.
One of the founders of the Michigan Road Runners, which is now the Motor City Striders.
Okay. All right. Well, Jeannie, now, of course, you started this race. This is the 48th running of the race.
Yes, and I'm very pleased with the turnout. It was a cold day. Absolutely cannot do it without the volunteers and my co-partners. And that co-partner doesn't talk to me in the month of December.
Okay. So, and this is saying Ken and the Downtown Runners.
Downtown Runners and Walkers are really the supporters. And I have two beautiful Belle Isle people who were here
Out of the shot, so you'd have to come in a little more.
4 years ago when, no, this is 48. 44 years ago, we started making spaghetti for all the runners, and they were part of making spaghetti for 3,000 people in the basement of my church. We would bring it over on New Year's Eve day, reheat it, make the new noodles, and serve everybody at the Broadhead Armory. And the max we had was 3,500 there.
All right. Now, before we started shooting, you were mentioning how the Striders, or at least the precursor to the Striders, they weren't letting you run in their races.
No, women weren't allowed to run in the men's races.
And who was one of the leaders of that organization?
Well, we won't say who the leader was back then, but I think it was about 73. It was after I had children. When did you take over, Ed?
Well, I've been an officer since 72, but the old AAU rules said that women were not allowed to run in races. So we did have a meeting probably about 1973 74 at the latest. And the club at that time probably only had 16 members. But the heads of the group went back to the late 1920s and 30s and were strict followers of the rules. But we had a very intense discussion, and in fact decided to allow Jeannie to become the very first Motor City Strider woman and run the races. And actually, depending on how much you know about Jeannie, she went on to set U.S. and world records. I'm not sure along those, but some super fast times. And her husband Jerry has the distinction of winning the very first race that the Michigan Roadrunners, now the Motor City Striders, put on in 1959. So if you take a look, you can see what happens way down the line. A great athlete, former city champion in the Detroit Public School for the mile and cross country, and that was when there were 22 Detroit high schools, probably every single one with over 3,000 students. So we're talking of a bygone era, and fortunately Jeannie has been able to keep the era up with this 48th running of the New Year's Eve run.
All right. Jared's being kind of quiet over there while this is all going on. Do you want to add something to the conversation?
Yeah, I was just doing some arithmetic in my head. That was over 60 years ago, or almost 60 years ago.
A couple of years, well, around when I was born. I'm 57, so if it's almost 60 years, it'd be right in about my range. Yeah. So, all right. Well, anyway, thank you for talking with us, and
You're welcome.
Thank you for putting on this race and for all you guys have done for the running community.